Mornings with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
All right, Gina, what do we got?
Brian, were you too busy basking just now?
I really was.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the dominating victory.
Okay.
And
Cool. So USA Today reports that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was disappointed with the second summit he had with President Trump.
Disappointed?
Well, he handled it. You know, he doesn't just spin his wheels. He actually executed his team of envoys. According to a South Korean newspaper, Kim felt betrayed by his team at the February summit in Vietnam. So apparently he executed all 5 of them.
You know what I'm going to say to my son? After maybe when we're walking to the car after being disappointed by Godzilla.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, look, boy.
Execute the filmmakers.
No, what I'm going to say is you don't want to be like one of those dentists that shoots Cecil the Lion. If you're going to go big. Execute like entire, cabinets and things like that. Yeah. Because we're wired. We have a weird wiring, but we're a little more pissed at the dentist who shot the lion than we are against Kim Jong-un or whatever, because we've just labeled him. We can't process him in our head. Like, he's the nuttiest person on the planet. But that fucking dentist, he should have known better.
I know
that guy's
Dennis.
a priority.
This is your Rotten Tomato strategy as well.
Yeah, strategy.
Go high.
Just go big. And when you go big, you're so big we can't process you. And so we're just like, I don't know. That guy's nuts. And then we move on to the next dentist or whoever shot Haramba.
No matter where he travels, he takes his own fecal matter back with him. He doesn't want people sifting through it.
God, is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, I think if you go nuts, then you've bypassed disappointing. And if you can bypass disappointing, that's kind of a win.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, we don't, all that stuff where it's like, you really should have known better than to kill your envoy. Like,
hindsight being what it is.
Yeah. Yes, your mother and I are very.
I don't know what came over me.
2 or 3 lieutenants. That's understandable, but a baker's dozen. Also, I always thought we would live in some place where we just get to assassinate people. Like somebody would just assassinate people. Like you just take all these horrible. Like the idea that Fidel Castro put together 46 years is insane, right? He's on an island. It makes it easier to assassinate because you hit water when you try to run the guy with the gun. Like, how come? Why do they have such long range? They just pass and then it's like, well, Fidel's got a nephew. Now he's taking over. Like, great. We just pass it on to the next one with the polluted bloodline.
No.
All right.
Well, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said he's aware of the report and the U.S. is doing our best to check it out. One was firing squad. Another guy got hard labor.
He made a jacking off motion. He said that.
Best to check it out.
Right. No. Get right on that.
These countries. What the fuck?
No.
And then, you know what? I'll tell you what sucks about being in the U.S. What sucks about being in the U.S. is not only do we have to hear about all these other countries, and then we have to kind of, you weigh everything against what you know. You know what I mean? So it's like, they stoned this guy for being gay, and it's like, you don't think of it, like, you don't go like, well, okay. Like, we do some stoning over here, like a light stoning, but it's not, we throw gravel and, aggregate, but we don't do full boulders or whatever. But it's so not only do we have to emotionally process it through our whatever, they're women, they're not allowed to drive cars without a man in the car, whatever it is, but also everyone kind of looks at us and goes, all right, they're a fucking mess, but what are you guys doing about it? And I feel like it's lose-lose, because not only are they fucking nuts and being horrible all the time, times thousands all over the world at the same time, but everyone looks at us because we do have our shit together and we're relatively sane. Everyone looks at us and goes, well, what are you doing to fix this? Like, it's the same way when a tsunami hits whatever, Haiti or something. They go, what are you guys doing? So in a way, because you have water and plywood and sanity, you get kind of punished all the time. Like when people are like, well, why aren't you doing something to fix the insane people on the other side of the country who think it's a good idea to bury people alive and throw rocks at their head? So it's kind of lose-lose.
Light a cage on fire.
We have to hear about it, and we have to do something about it, but there's nothing we can do. It's always never works. Because they're insane.
Because every time many times when we go in to try to, sort something out. It's, you guys think you're the world police. You think you're in charge of everybody else's culture. So it's kind of a lose.
We're certainly the world's lifeguard, but they don't like us being the police.
So somewhere in Venezuela, the community is handling this news of North Korea much easier.
Right.
Yes.
It's like we get that. This happens.
Yeah.
This happens. We're not going to do anything about it. Of course we're not going to do anything about it. Let's just move on.
Surprised it took this long.
And then if you do something, you're doing the wrong thing. You've exacerbated it. If you've done nothing, then you just sat by and watched as people died.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a burden being sane. It really is. Like micro and macro.
Well, and this is going to play out the same way as it always played out. Like now the clock is ticking for the first shot at asking the president, what does he think of this? And Trump is going to defend this in some way. He's going to be flippant about it. And that in and of itself is going to be the reaction.
Right.
So get ready for a week and a half of North Korea and us debating whether or not it's okay to condone executing people you work with.
And also, where do we do brunch?
Yeah, I mean, that as well, yes.
Can somebody just put a pipe bomb up their ass and give that guy a good hug and then just send them both to the promised land? That's what I'm curious. Like, how come nobody ever and I know there's 15 doppelgangers running around and everyone knows.
They're waddling around.
They're waddling around everything. He has a bulletproof train and everything. But
yeah.
I still feel like in
we
my
can
mind, I
flip
grew up
that.
thinking, where's the Manchurian candidate that we really need? All right, sorry.
Do you want some better news?
Yes.
A lot of kids stayed up last Thursday late night to find out which of the 8 finalists would win the 92nd annual Scripps National Spelling Bee. We have a winner. Actually, we have multiple winners. In the end, all 8 were declared the winners.
Octospellers.
Yeah, that's what they're basically being called, the Octa Champs. The final 8 7th and 8th graders were just too prepared. No word, regardless of what it was.
Did they run out of words?
They were about to. I'm going to show you a clip. The group forced Scripps to make a decision at 11:30 at night to allow all 8 of them to be crowned the champions. I do have a list of their names. I think you're going to be shocked at them. But here's a clip of how it went down.
It was
GMA.
the envoy that was executed by Kim Jong-il.
Here's a clip.
What? Indian
Champion
kids?
spellers, we are now in uncharted territory. We're throwing the dictionary at you. And so far, you are showing this dictionary who is boss.
The so-called Elite 8 completing an unprecedented 5 perfect rounds, 47 straight words spelled correctly. An emotional final round as each of the 8 found out, one by one, that they'd be going home a winner.
Each of you will be getting a Scripps Cup and, of course, the full $50,000 cash prize.
Good. Of them, put them in the octagon.
Can't we have another category for the one white chick?
Yeah.
Like we do with the marathons. We got the guys in the wheelchairs. We got the Kenyan guys. We got the chick category. Like,
she should get to start early in the morning.
I feel like she could get a little head start there.
I don't think she needed it.
Special medallion or something. You know what
Participation medallion.
She said it.
I'd be furious if I was one of these kids, and now you're one of 8 who won the Scripps Spelling Bee this year.
It's a cachet issue, but at least I was worried they were going to have to split the $50,000, which would not have been fair.
Yes. Also, it's 11:30, and they called it like delirious kids up doing the spelling bee, like they were just getting into prime time.
Kind of drops in at some point.
Oh my god!
Like with poker or whatever. You know what I mean? Like at some point.
Give me the origin. Spell it backwards.
They study every word, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Because there's no way you would be sounding out any of these words at the end.
Well, Brian, you've seen the doc about
Spellbound.
this. It is.
Yeah.
It is borderline child abuse.
I agree.
But they're winners. Would you like to hear everybody who?
Oh, by the way, I don't know. Should we be putting this kind of emphasis on something that we don't need technologically anymore? Like the spelling bee was pretty damn important in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s.
92-year-old competition.
Right. So everyone has a smartphone that makes them the world champion in spelling if they want. Not me. I tried to type in eulogy a few months ago, and the phone just started to heat up.
I still can't figure out rhythm. I still don't know how to get my head around rhythm.
I could not do even the phone wasn't enough for me in eulogy. But essentially, you have a phone,
right?
And that makes you the world's best speller. And every kid has a phone, and we're so. Like, what if there was like a horseshoeing competition and we're like crowning the winner, but you'd go like, but we don't.
But who's doing this?
We don't really That's not a viable.
Yeah.
We're not going to beat the Russians with the script spelling
Right,
big.
Yeah.
right. And everyone is the champion of spelling with their computer. So, I don't know.
Congrats, kids.
Congrats.
Congrats, Rashik.
Hold
God,
on.
yeah.
Something that's never going to go out of style is the grocery bagging champion.
Right.
That's a real world application.
Brian.
Like
I was going to say.
if I'm going
I wanna enter that
camping with
shit.
a kid and it's non-sexual, which it rarely is.
But in the instance that it is.
Well, I made it clear.
Right.
Yeah.
It's non-sexual, and I'm going camping with a kid, which is, I don't know when that would ever come up, but let's just say I am. I go with grocery bagging champ rather than spelling bee guy, because
Right.
I feel like that has an application in my world. Like, where are the beans? I don't know. I packed the bag. Let me get them out of it. You know what I mean?
So you and I could have been a camping pair.
You were champion.
I was a grocery bagger for 2 years in high school. It's my job, and I was fucking good at it.
I would
Very
still
good at it. Very smug
I
about
bagged
it.
my own groceries, and I silently, not so silently, judge when the checker does bag my groceries. They always bag. They always
they
bag it
never
wrong.
get it right.
Lesson number one: the eggs don't always go on top. People,
That's right.
They're on a cardboard carton.
That's right.
Do you know what you can put on top of those eggs? Lots of things.
I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I think the self-checkout is now going to take over the
We're all going
bagging
to be
acumen.
grocery bagging
All right,
champions.
well, then I'm going camping with cup stacker guy, because that'll never go out of style. They're always, I'm going to be like, give me an IPA, and I don't want it in a can. Okay, boss. There we go. All right, you're right. Let's
yeah.
go with cup stacking.
I
guy.
love it. And by the way, those videos are fun to watch.
I
Cup
still
stacking,
say
yeah.
there's more real world application than there is spelling.
Well, congrats, Rashik Gandasari, Aaron Howard, Saket
Now, is this a
Sundar.
cup stacking guy or is this the
This is
spell
the spelling
guy?
bee.
Okay.
Grocery baggers.
Shrithika Paddy, Soham Sakantankar, Abhijay Kodali, Christopher Sorreo, and Rohan Raja.
Can I say this? My son's got a couple Indian friends. They're going to be I hope they're compassionate overlords. My son's in the Dumbo classes at school. I'm just going to take him after we see Godzilla and just drop him off and go, look, let him be your humble servant. Like,
Yeah.
let him take care of you. I don't want him to be indentured or anything, but obviously you're
Show
going to be
mercy.
you're going to be his boss at
Yeah.
some point. Let's just
Give him
let's
3 hots and a
break
cot.
into this slowly, and then maybe when he's looking for that job, whatever you're running in a few years, you'll show some compassion
Mercy.
and some mercy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
you got to
like-
show
yeah.
those friends, show those Indian friends, you and Ben Kingsley, and say, "I know Gandhi."
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Greatest picture of all time. Jordan, would you like to see the greatest photograph of all time?
I would love to see it, please.
See what real friendship and love looks like?
It's
Mutual respect.
It's
I would
me
say.
explaining to Ben Kingsley that he shouldn't be nervous before he goes out on stage before we did the upfronts. So
Gandhi.
I'm describing stage direction and poise and posture to him, and he's drinking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really see the compassion in his eyes. That's very Brando Apocalypse Now.
It's good. It's a great photograph. All right, Gina, here we go.
All right. Well, a lot of range with the Kardashian sisters, and I'm just going to give a quick example of both.
Oh, did I have a fun time yelling at, everyone hates Mark Garrigus, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Everyone hates Mark
We can
Garrigus.
agree on one thing.
But I like Mark Garrigus because he likes me. And if you ask Jimmy Kimmel, he'll tell you if the worst person in the world likes me, I got no beef with him.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Kim Jong-un and
if
Trump.
I found out that Kim Jong-un was saying kind words about me,
You're the new Rodman.
that's right. He'd be my favorite. My favorite dictator. He'd go right to the top of the leaderboard
Yeah.
of dictators. So, Garrigus, we were sort of neighbors, and I know who he is, which is a super gregarious, sort of friendly guy with a crazy motor. But his dad was a lawyer, and he's always, as much shit as you want to talk about him, he takes plenty of these cases where the police have overstepped their boundaries and the courts and whatever. And he's been talking about, prison reform and that kind of stuff, and he can't stand the fact that these marijuana dispensaries and blah, 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 and the overreach of the government and the penal system and blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, we're doing Reasonable Doubt, I said to him, Mark, what's it feel like? You're Armenian, and the Kardashians are Armenian. For 40 years, you've been beating this drum about prison reform and trial reform and judicial system, and no one gives a shit. And then Kim Kardashian sends a couple fucking tweets out, and now we're on the move.
Yeah.
We're marching toward the light now. I said, what's a fucking bad wiring we have, right, as human beings? But I said, when you go to bed tonight, before your head hits the pillow, I want you really to consider that you've been trying this for 40 years to no avail, and Kim Kardashian sends out a few tweets 6 months ago, and now progress.
Yeah. So she sends out a couple of tweets, and she's in the Oval Office with Trump.
She's the closer. He got the bark off the hill.
It's just we're humanity's kind of weird. It's kind of sad that way, right?
Yeah. And
okay, but at least she is.
So to your point, she took a trip over to death row on Thursday. The prison reform activist, that's what we call her now, visited San Quentin to meet with a death row inmate named Kevin Cooper. He's 61. He was sentenced to death for murdering 4 people in the 80s, but he maintains his innocence, claims he was framed. Kim believes him, and she's made this her latest mission. So
all right.
Let me just tell you what's going on with that. According to TMZ, back in October, Kim asked Jerry Brown, the California's governor, to look into the case because he'd been framed. So Brown ordered the DNA test. Then Gavin Newsom, the new governor, ordered additional testing, and he's waiting for the final results.
All right, here's my new plan in life. Fuck everything I'm trying to do that's not working.
Yeah.
I have to get an audience with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Danny Two Sheets is good friends with Kanye.
What?
Oh, Kanye was at his wedding in Texas. I was there, too.
Wow.
What?
So,
how? Why?
He's deep in that community.
Amazing.
So,
does he go to that Sunday service?
I don't know. We got to ask Danny Two Sheets.
Got to go to that
connection to Kanye. Kanye, I think, was a big Crank Yankers fan or something, and then wanted to do a TV show. And found
he had a pilot for Comedy Central.
Yeah, that
infamous Comedy Central.
Yeah,
pilot.
Daniel probably produced that or whatever.
He did.
Okay, so I go to Daniel. Daniel gets me to Kanye. Kanye gets me to Kim, and I just go, look, I'm going to be straight up. Like, this is going to be light lifting for you, but I don't feel like we could ever get this shit fixed. Couple things. Here's what I need. I need everyone in Los Angeles to know it's legal to turn right on a red. I can't just fucking sit behind another zombie who's not moving, and I have to try to look and see if cars are coming, and I'm just like, would you fucking go? Like, you can go. So mission number 1, again, light lifting for her. For me, it's a game changer. Send out a couple fucking tweets. Get on TMZ with it. I'd like Taco Bell to bring back the Bell Beefer.
Again, light lifting. This is
easy for you, but in terms of quality of lifestyle for me, that's very impactful. I need folks who at home and at work to rinse out when they put their mug in the sink with just a little splash of coffee. Just give it a shot of
water.
Talking
about real social change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know, you may think it's comical, but this shit's never going to happen, and I can't get it done, and I want you to do it. Yeah. And the freeway signs that say "click it or ticket," I don't want that anymore. Everyone's got it.
If I can attach some pork onto your bill, he doesn't watch it. Please mention to Kim when you talk to her about the freeway signs on the on-ramp that say 2 cars per green, but everyone does 1 car per green. Yeah, right. There's idiots. There's like,
I'll have a whole traffic section,
please,
and then some of it'll be personal and culinary, like the Bell Beefer,
of course,
obviously.
Maybe she should be the new traffic czar.
I think just a couple of tweets and we can get this fixed. But I look, I could go to, we could run down, Garcetti or Gavin Newsom or something. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
I need her to do this, and then we'll get it done.
I think that's a great plan.
We should all just have a punch list and just have an audience, like the Queen, and she would sit on a throne, and I would just come by and I would bow and do something with a scepter, and then I'd just have a little scroll. I'd be wearing my shoes with the buckles on them and my high socks,
Yeah. She either nods once or looks at a guard and has you dragged away.
Yes. Yeah. And I just need 5 minutes. All right.
Okay. You're 2 handshakes away from Kim
Put a
Kardashian.
note down for Danny to get to Kanye, to get to Kim, and then from that'll go right to the Bell Beefer. All right. Let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
I don't know anything.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.